Hola Madridistas, welcome to the preview for match day 21st in La Liga, I guess, as we are going to be traveling away to Valladolid, to continue to stay atop the league. Atletico close on our heels. Barcelona, as always, a danger. But yeah, to break all of this down, I'm joined today for this preview as usual by our usual man Farouk. But before we get started, a quick word about the sponsors for this episode, Manscaped. They are the pioneers in the male grooming space. So if you're on the lookout to upgrade your bathroom routine or just to look your best, look no further. Head on over to manscaped.com and use code LPR20 for 20% off and free shipping. Right, man, Farouk? You seem distracted. Are you just looking up your scout reports via Valladolid?
Yeah, man, I'm just letting you do your stuff, man. Yeah, I'm just looking up, some of the stats, towards the league and what is not. Yeah, actually, like Valladolid seem to, have found a bit of form, winning two of their last three games, although they lost the last game, coming into this tie.
Yeah.
But yeah, but they've been atrocious before that because, it will take a miracle for them to survive this year, honestly, although they're just 5 points away from safety behind all of us. But then still, considering how this shit goes, literally almost two a game, it's gonna be quite big.
It's gonna be quite big. I'm gonna chalk that, the slight run of two games, two victories on the roll, just on that new coach injection, like
Bounce, yeah, yeah, the new manager bounce, yeah.
yeah, and it's gonna be big because like the only guy who looked decent for them, like at least from the highlights that I saw, was like Raul Moro. He's gonna be injured for a bit, at least until the end of the month. Uh, Mamadou Sila was again one of their starter players. He's also injured for this match. So this match especially, it's hopefully it's like not complicated at all for us. And none of their signings has really panned out. They brought in Latasa this year. Obviously, we know. I mean, he isn't like the best player, even when he was playing in Castilla. But then, at least I thought he would move the needle, maybe score like 4 or 5 goals. That didn't really happen. So, yeah, by far in the league, they have the worst attack, the worst defense. Things shouldn't be complicated, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's a chance, for our players, to travel away and try to continue that role of form as well. Because let's not forget, like we're coming into this also like not the last four games haven't, although the last two games have been good, but the two games that preceded that haven't been the best. We needed extra time, in the last Palmas game, and of course you remember what happened against Barcelona in the final. So like continuing the good form that we've had in the last two games to show that it's just no fluke. We have to show something, and that's the thing. I mean, if we continue, with our streak this season, we've demolished or we've defeated the teams that we're supposed to beat, and the teams that are a bit iffy are the teams that we tend to not be able to uh, to perform against. So I just think like the game against Valladolid as well should fall in that the category of the latter, where we're able to easily move past them and continue the good form that we've seen from the players as well.
Yeah, exactly, man. For this run of games, like I said, it's been easy going. This is probably like our easiest patch in the season, which is why we've been looking so good. The only problem is for this game is that Vinny looked very decent. The attack looked like it's flowing. We had that almost like a third, what is that, 17-second goal from the back to the finish when Vinny scored his goal.
Yeah.
And so these are things that we would have liked to keep the continuity going, but then unfortunately he's still not available. So yeah, that's my only gripe
Yeah,
about this
that's
game.
that.
Yeah,
I remember, like yesterday after the yellow card, I was like, yeah, like we were having a discussion with you, and also Ashik was, talking about. I think it was Ashik was saying that you should, place a bet on Vini getting a yellow card or something like that. And when I was saying like, like it's a home game, so like I wouldn't, be too, optimistic about that. Vini is more booked in the away matches, and yeah, Vini does what he's done, and like the continuity again, as you highlighted, he's not there anymore as well. So he misses this game, he misses the next game in the Champions League as well. So the room for that continuity is just unfortunate. That's the thing. Like I think Vini's played how many games this season? He's had almost 6, 7 yellow cards. Like it's quite interesting. Like there was also a red card there at Valencia as well. So it's something that he definitely needs to work out. Otherwise, I don't know, man. Like this inavailabilities, will come to will come to haunt him honestly. And I don't want to say this, but like, I mean, there is a very good example that we know. Neymar was a phenomenal player, but Neymar never showed up when it mattered the most because he was injured, at least for Paris, you know. So this is the thing. Like everyone remembers Neymar as a fantastic footballer, you know, during the younger times of his years. But when the time came to step up and be a leader, you know, like Neymar went missing. So until and unless Vinicius is able to take that out of the game, he's just gonna find himself odd one out in in every other game. And the point this is the thing, you know, like football is a cutthroat business. If he
It is.
continues on like this, before you know it, you know, like the baton will shift to Kylian Mbappe so quickly, and even if Kerry is not taking it with the likes of Jude, and Rodrigo will move ahead of him, you know, in the pecking order of what the team could look like. Vini, in my opinion, still remains the best player in the world, but until and unless he's able to, you know, remove this element of his game, because if you're not on the field, people do not remember you. This is just the thing. No matter how good you are, your availability is the best ability you have.
Yeah, indeed, man. I can't believe we're having this conversation because, when Vinny was coming to the fore, when, he was having that partnership going along with Karim Benzema, everyone was saying, Vinny might not be as technically talented as Neymar. He has more physical traits, right? But then at least he's going to have a way better career than Neymar because of his drivenness, his motivation, his dedication to the craft. And I can't believe we got into this point where we started, doubting him about his commitment, about, where his head is in the game. Shocking how things have turned.
And that's the thing, like, you know, honestly, it's quite strange, honestly. I agree with you, you know, like it's strange that we're at this point. But the thing is that the club has, you know, like encouraged this. This is just whether we like it or whether we like to admit it or not, the club has encouraged this attitude from Vinicius Junior, you understand? No one is saying anything to him, and more or less yeah, I feel like they're even, you know, supporting him in his stance, especially with the whole thing that we see from RMTV where they compile videos with, you know, referee decisions and all what is and what is not. So this is the thing, like until and unless Vinicius Junior finds a way to eradicate this from his from his game, it's gonna be something that might affect him in the long run.
Exactly. Yep. Great, man. Uh, but yeah, Farooq, by the way, like Sunaid mentioned, there's a weird click on your mic. So yeah, try disconnecting or reconnecting or whatever is it that you do. Meanwhile, we'll head into the ad break because, like we said, I mean, we don't have a lot of notes for Valladolid. They did have that new coach switch. But then I think the game that we're going to be expecting tomorrow, day after, is that it's going to be atrocious again. That's what I feel because they're missing their most important attackers, and they have the worst defense in the league. I don't see how that can be corrected with a new coach within like a week. It's going to be atrocious, and hopefully we can capitalize and then keep this good run of form going because it is going to be our easiest patch of games this season. But yeah, Doris, you can take it away.
Hola Valladistas, I'm back once again to remind you that if you want to help and support this project of ours, this channel, you can do so by going to manscaped.com, using our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. You help us out and you get a cool product. This time I'm here to introduce you guys to the Chairman Pro. It is a trimmer that features two interchangeable blade heads, one called the blade foil, which is to get that super smooth baby skin, and the other one is called the stubble trimmer for if you want to still have that little bit of stubble but look a bit cleaner and fresher. You can do both with the same trimmer. It also features flex adjust technology. It adjusts it to your face, how you shave. You can also lock it for full precision. Best thing is waterproof. You can shave yourself in the shower if you want to. It's completely waterproof. It features 75 hours of battery life, so if you're going on some kind of travel, you can charge it beforehand and it will still have enough battery for the trip. Also, if you're going on a trip, you can lock it so that it doesn't turn on as you go. It has an LED. It's a great thing, and especially now that Christmas is coming up, if you want to send it as a gift to your boyfriend, or if you're a man, get it for yourself or your brother, dad. It's a great gift for any man, and this bad boy can even get up to like 5 days of beard, so you don't even need to trim it down before you can fully shave it. This does it for you. So yeah, get this at manscaped.com. Use our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. Thank you for watching, and back to the video.
Interesting, yeah. Me and Farouk were just discussing the games, the PSG game, Man City game, and then apparently Pep needs more players. His super team wasn't good enough. He needed to spend 100 more million just to survive and then stay away from relegation in the Premier League.
Now it will be relegation from the Champions. Actually, it's not relegation because it's total complete elimination. If they don't get their shit together against Stuttgart next week. But I do think they're gonna. Sorry, it's not against Stuttgart. It's against Club Brugge of Belgium. It's Paris that plays Stuttgart. So I think it's a shootout, and it's because it's a shootout. If they win, they overtake Stuttgart. If they lose, if they draw, it's almost guaranteed to be out. Actually, it's not almost guaranteed. It's guaranteed that they'll be out if they draw. Anything on the victory and City are out actually. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. Well, on the other hand, for us, we're currently 16th. We're I think just 1 point out of number 8. So it will take a lot of luck, but we still have an outside chance. Well, I think it's almost impossible because when you're 16th, you have 8 teams. You have to wait for 8 teams to kind of lose or for at least drop points.
Yep.
Before you're able to sneak in there. So 8 teams is a lot of numbers, man, honestly.
It's not just numbers, right? So just looking at it from a pure mathematical possibility side, without considering the form of the teams or the teams itself, it's around, I think, 13%. It was before this match, it was around 9% chance that we go straight through without the playoffs or whatever. So with the teams in quality, with the fact that these teams categorically have been playing better than us, consistently better than us, it's very unlikely that these guys are going to drop points. So I just don't think it's a possibility, and I don't think we should even aim for it. Or even if Ancelotti says we might try, we might get it, I just don't believe him.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting. The games are going to come in February because we're going to have to play some big hitters, man, from the way the things looking, like the likes of, the Man Cities and the Bayern Munichs and the Paris Saint-Germain. So it might be quite interesting, especially considering, a lot of these teams are going to be reinforced with new players, so it might be, we don't know what it's going to look like. But yeah, I mean, it's the Champions League and it's Real Madrid, man. You can never account for that. But of course, you do not want to play. I mean, when they're clubs like Club Brugge and Celtic, with all due respect, why do you want to play Man City or Bayern Munich?
Yeah. Exactly.
Man.
But we might end up going there, playing the heavyweights, and hopefully we figure out our shit by then. But then tell me about this, Farouk. We lost all of our chances to actually, how the big teams are going to handle it is, or the better teams in the Champions League, they're going to play their second string of players, so they get a bit of rest in this round of games, but we can't afford to do that. Were you really happy with the rotations and, substitutions in the Salzburg game?
Yeah, definitely. I felt for once, Carlo actually, reacted very early. Everything is, been done and dusted more or less. So there was no point, keeping players out for long. So I feel those substitutions actually made a lot of sense, very early without, risking anything, honestly. So for that, for once, I do appreciate, those substitutions. And I mean, that's the thing, there is nothing literally to do. Vinicius is already suspended for the next game. So, there is no point in, taking him out or something like that. But it was great, to see how early, David Alaba, Articular, Endrick and Diaz were on, that was a good one.
Yeah. And we got to see more of Alaba as well. I mean, that's a lot of minutes this early on. I did not expect that.
Yeah, exactly. And also it's interesting. If I remember correctly, also Jacopo Ramon came on as well. He was also one of the guys who also had the the ACL injury as well. So it was also good to to get him, one of the academy players, back in the team as well, because he was the one who was actually touted to to be a supplementary centre back this season before he also got injured.
Yeah. It was a shame. I remember the preseason he looked very half decent, especially considering we faced some difficult teams in the preseason. So
yeah.
Anyways, man. So let's get down to business and do the lineups first. What do you think is going to be? It's going to be a second string group of players. It's going to be an away game, and we don't have a lot of leeway. We have to maintain our position at the top. It's an important game.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's no lot of second strings that you can see because like it's not like we have a lot of bodies there, you know. So the point is like, I mean, we know that Vinicius Junior is still suspended, you know. So you'd look, you know, like Rodrigo, you know, would be most likely continue. And then speaking of Rodrigo, you know, like it was a really good performance from him, you know, last night as well. You know, like it's quite. I don't know, man. I feel like, you know, it's quite interesting, you know, the whole rhetoric surrounding Rodrigo, and also I myself, I'm, you know, one of those who championed that discussion because I just feel like, you know, this team cannot. I don't think this team can perform at the highest level with these three attackers, you know, all together, especially considering the midfield that we have or that we do not have. And I think someone has to be, you know, sacrificed in that case. And it's, I mean, I would say it's going to be Rodrigo, but you know, like the way Rodrigo has been playing, you know, it seems like he's putting himself in that place that he's also, you know, getting close to being undroppable as well. So I don't know what do you think? Like, how do you see, you know, what Rodrigo's role in this team?
Rodrigo's role, man. I think even before that, the fact is that just look at the Barcelona game. They have like 5 midfielders, all of them dropping back, helping back in defense, switching positions. We had 3. We just could not handle that. Maybe you can even say 2 because some of our midfielders are busy covering for centre backs or the left back and right back. So you can clearly see that in the bigger games, this is not going to fly. Yeah, and as for Rodrigo's role, I don't know, man. Like, it's such a difficult situation. Like, you cannot drop Vini, you cannot drop Mbappe, and we need one more midfield. It's clear to see, especially in the bigger games. So who's going to take the chopping block? I mean, does it have to be Jude? Impossible.
Yeah, yep, can be Jude.
The only way that I see it is going to be a FIFA formation on how we can make this work. Fit in Valverde, fit in Camavinga at left back and right back. Play all of our midfielders, get some solidity, get some passing going on. That's the only way I see out. I don't see any other solutions, man. And even this, it's just so ridiculous that it only belongs in FIFA. So clearly, Ancelotti has a lot. He's gonna have a lot on his mind, and I don't think he's gonna be the man to solve this.
No, but I mean, I just feel like that's the thing. Like, it's quite harsh. I just feel like it's the harsh reality. This is the thing, as we said at the beginning. Like, football is a cutthroat business, especially when you're at Real Madrid. But I do think, in my opinion, as you saw in those big games, like playing with this front three is definitely not gonna be will not provide that balance. And as you rightly highlighted, you saw Barcelona with 5 midfielders literally, creating that balance and that rotation, that even if there is a turnover in position because of the numbers, just because of the sheer number, not even quality, just because of the sheer number of bodies, they can quickly close down and win the ball back. But for Real Madrid, it's just the opposite. Literally, just one through ball through the middle is just you're almost through on goal. So I think like there has to be a solution to that, honestly. But I don't know. But for now, man, let's just enjoy what we can enjoy, and that's the thing. Like Rodrigo is gonna continue. Like Vini is out, so I would also champion the return of Brahim Diaz. So it's gonna be similar to what we saw against who was it that we played at the weekend? I can't remember right now. So it's going to be a very similar formation, in that case. So we're going to just have Brahim and Kylian Mbappe alongside Rodrigo. So
Yep.
yeah, until we reach that point, we can continue to enjoy the good form that Rodrigo is in right now.
Absolutely. I mean, there's got to be another easy question. I mean, this lineup has written it in its own. I mean, we're gonna pretty much see the same lineup that we saw against Las Palmas, except Tchouaméni is back. I don't know if he's gonna play the whole 90 though. The only question is, man, like in left back, like it's gonna be a very easy game. Like, would you be super mad if you saw Mendy play this game?
I mean, considering the point that there is literally like nothing to play for. I mean, it's. I mean, I'm talking about in the midweek. So like the game we're gonna play like in France against Brest. I mean, it's either you finish 16th or you finish 20th or you finish 12th. Like, I mean, anyways, you're going through the playoff. You understand? So it's not like it's not a matter of life or death. You understand? So I would not be too surprised to see Mendy continue and like France starts the game. In France. But anyways, like, I do think Fran will actually play this game, to kind of have a rotation with Mendy, considering also that it's an away game as well. I think, Fran will start. And yeah, Fran has been quite, a very good deputy this year. I will even say even better than, the performances that we've seen from Mengi in the first half of the season.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also good to, see Raul Asensio back in the lineup, getting some important minutes. But yeah, man, I guess that's it for the lineups. I mean, in the midfield, just to say it out loud, it's going to be Bellingham, it's going to be Valverde, it's going to be Modric again, or Ceballos? Ceballos, right?
Yeah, I think Ceballos, because it's an away game, I do think, we'll continue with that. Ceballos, and of course, like Lucas Vazquez is back, so, he takes his position back at right back.
Yeah.
And the experiment with Fede Valverde as a defender is finished. Well, yeah, even the game, even remember, yeah, for now. We saw Asensio as well, taking that role of right back again once, David Alaba came into the pitch as well. So maybe that's something that, we might get to see more and more in the coming weeks, considering like the lack of, and also because when you consider that, Jacopo Ramon is back and, David Alaba is back as well. Of course, like they're back from like very big injuries, so like they'll gradually be bedded in back. But like when you have these alternatives in the center of the park, like you can, in the center of the defense, or you can, maybe experiment more with, Raul Asensio being a fullback.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cool. I guess that's it for the lineups then, and let's do predictions and wind this out. For me, I think it's gonna be an easy 3-1. In the last game, you predicted maybe a 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 3-1. Yeah, I definitely think Valladolid are gonna be better than RB Salzburg.
Yeah, man, I'll go one better, man. I think it's gonna be 3-0. I think like no matter how unfortunate our defense is, I do think like the bluntness of the attack that Valladolid holds will be no match for us. So I would go like we scored 3 goals, but we do not concede. 3-0 victory for Real Madrid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their most important midfielder Juric is injured, suspended. Raul Moro, Mamadou Sylla, their top scorers in attack, all of them injured. It's gonna be a scene, if they actually score first somehow and then just wait it out. It's gonna be hell, but yeah, should be an easy game.
I mean,
fingers crossed.
This is just one of those games that you would always assume it should be an absolute easy game, But then you go there and like you win, but like you win by scrapping through. You understand? So, and but again, as I said, like that's the thing that Real Madrid has done this season. We've seen that like when it comes to these bottom teams, they always find a way to get the result out. It's when it's come to this proper big, or let's not even say proper big boys, but like the big boys and the contenders of the big boys. So like this is where Real Madrid has struggled this season. So I think, yeah, we continue with that trend, and we just go there and we find a way to win, even if it might be a bit difficult. But as you said, like everything suggests that it should be a very straightforward victory. But yeah, Real Madrid doesn't do something too straightforward, right?
That we don't, Farooq. But yeah, man, thanks for anyone who's been joining us. Sunaid is in the chat. We haven't been taking too many comments. I know I've been doing it intentionally because I have to go and wind this out really fast to get back to work. Sorry for that, but everyone else who's tuning in, do give this a like. If you don't like the podcast, if you don't like anything that I said or Farooq said, let us know. Let us know in on Instagrams or even on Spotify. You can add comments. So yeah, and do check out our partners over at Real Madrid Committee. The links are down in the description below. Show them some love. Everyone who is a fan and does this free just for the club, just for the love of the game, just give everyone the support as much as you can, man. It doesn't take a lot of effort or money. It's free. And until next time, folks, Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.